A year ago this week, my high school graduating class was about to celebrate our 30th reunion at homecoming, but Hurricane Helene had different plans. The hurricane struck the southeast as a Category 4 and affected a large portion of the Appalachians and the surrounding areas. The way the hurricane traveled and stalled over Augusta before moving onwards created sustained damaging winds that rearranged a place that many of us grew up in and changed many lives forever. I've held off on putting this together, but reflecting on current events and how this country could do with a little unity made me think of the many great things that came out of this disaster. I'd like to share what it looked like through my eyes as I was inspired by the kindness and community of those living there in the surrounding areas and what they were able to pull off. This is really a good news story. Restoring faith in community and helping at a human level is something that this country in particular could use right now. This is meant to be inspiring to us all and a reminder that we are all in this together and that we are all way more alike than we are different. All right, people, the van is full. Got the generator, a ton of buns, gas, water, and supplies. Next stop, Augusta. People trying to get out the interstate, trying to get some gas. The lines are super long, going all the way back almost 100 miles to Atlanta. Being directed around downtown Augusta and gonna be headed out, looks like towards the lake. Here we go. This ought to be interesting. Trying to detour around some downed trees and lines. Tight squeeze. Come on, van. Oh my gosh, man, these poor people. Jesus. All right, back on solid ground. This is tough. A little squeeze here. It's Coyote Baptist Church. Got some down lines, gotta navigate that. This is Harlem High School, y'all. Oh my God. Man.
All right, stop one's complete. That noise in the back is a generator. And Greg is getting ready to load up the food truck so we can go feed the people.
The strategy was to establish power centers at each of the 4 places I had friends in: Augusta, Grovetown, Harlem, and Appling. And then we could direct folks to go there if they were in need. Since many alumni were out of town and were able to communicate, they started redirecting their homecoming weekend funds to help as well. So with that, I established an account to receive donations and had DeVette and Kathy helping to get the word and supplies out so they can all be distributed. DeVette even volunteered her house as a distribution center. So after delivering the generator and supplies to Greg, who owns Reggie's Twisted Barbecue, so he could get cooking, I headed to Grovetown. Welcome to Grovetown, man. It's been a minute. The old neighborhood's got a little bit of damage in it. Well, there's my old house that I grew up in. Looks like a shed in the backyard took a little damage, but that's about it. Wow. Unbelievable. When I got to Grovetown, I delivered some diesel fuel to a childhood friend and his family to run his generator longer, so he could then in turn help the neighborhood power devices. He also donated personal funds to help others. That helped establish our power availability in Grovetown. When I got done there, I headed back to Augusta to help serve some food and water from Reggie's. Overall, Greg and Carrie served over 500 people, with Kathy and I helping to round out the troops.
All right, we're at Advance Auto on Columbia Road. We got brisket, we got barbecue, we got burgers, hot dogs, fries. We'll be set up till it's gone. It's going fast. So if you're hungry, come on by. If you don't have money, we're not going to send you away hungry. Come on by.
By this time, I was worn out and was going to head back to Atlanta so that I can regroup and then come back and help out the next day. On my way out, I wanted to stop by and see Jeremy and Katie in Lincoln and make sure that they were good to go because it was essentially on my way home. That's where I learned that Jeremy's mom, Belinda, needed to get gas for her generator, and Jeremy and Katie had to stay and keep control over their neighborhood. So I volunteered to take some fuel, run it out to Ren's through Harlem, and once Belinda's freezers were back online and I got her cooled down in the air conditioner, I headed back home so that we could regroup and resupply and do it all again the very next day. There were multiple trips from Atlanta back to Augusta over the next couple of days to help with the immediate acute needs as things started to get stabilized. What impressed me was the number of times that people kept going back to the well and making sure that their neighbors were taken care of. Add insult to injury, a chemical plant in Covington blew up and it was blowing a cloud of noxious gas across the interstate between me and Augusta. So that made it extra fun. I hope it's not chlorine because I hate chlorine. Ask me how I spent my summer in 2003 at some point. This is the visibility currently. I'm through it. I got my air on filter and I can't wait to freaking get on the other side of it. It's really cool to see that as I left on Sunday, like services were being worked on in the zone of, I call it the exclusion zone because that's just the first thing that popped into my mind. It was cool to see that it was shrinking and that there were lines for fuel, but there was fuel being delivered and people were making do. I'm in Harlem driving past the church here. And when I came through here on Sunday, it was nearly impassable. Power lines were down, all this other stuff. And the linemen are out, man, making it happen. It's still pretty bad, but I've just been impressed and in awe of all the people that are, coming down on the area that was affected by the storm to fix things. And it's really cool. I hope that people are safe, and I also hope that people learn from this. It's actually really, really awesome. And here's the really inspiring part. These are all the results of just a handful of citizens that were just going to go to a homecoming game and enjoy a 30th reunion. And look at all the good that this group of folks did. We fed more than 500 people through Reggie's Twisted Barbecue. We bought and delivered 3 generators to people that were in need. We delivered 300 gallons of gas across the CSRA to people that needed help, 20 gallons of diesel, and over 6,000 bottles of water. And a lot of people's hands were involved, including my wife, Rebecca, Greg and Carrie, who ran Reggie's Twisted Barbecue. The MVP award goes to Kathy and DeVette, who helped rally all the supplies and organize all the things for all the people that were in the neighborhood and the community. So without them, it would have been impossible to get the stuff to the right places. And then everybody else that helped, from Tanya, who came to just pass out water to linemen, and everybody that was willing to donate funds. It's too many to name, but there was so much good that came out of this. I hope it's a lesson that we can remember and carry forward. Let me know in the comments what you've been doing for this last year and how this affected you. I'd love to hear about it.